IVM.
If you are one of those show-offy people who love to tell people something that they don't know, then you should check out Simplified. It's a podcast where Chuck, Nareen and Shrikate take complex subjects and try to simplify it for you in their own twisted way. New episodes are out on the IVM podcast website, app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hello everybody, you're listening to Keeping It Queer with me, Navin Narona.
And Farhad.
Welcome to Keeping It Queer, everybody. Your all things queer podcast, recorded live. While we are all alive while we're recording this in car. And today again we're joined by Farhad, my co-host.
Very alive. Present, sir.
Anish Gawande.
Present, sir.
We heard him on the politics episode we did recently, and we realized that we spoke about a lot of intense stuff. So
insightful,
intense, dark stuff. So
slightly maybe cathartic. I might change a little.
Every episode is cathartic for you only. Like,
that's true, nah?
Now you can't afford a therapist, so you come here only.
I cannot. I'm so serious about this. I actually feel like the more I do podcasting, the lesser I need a therapist. I really have to say that. The lesser I need a therapist, because so much of therapy is also just some person sitting there and listening to all you have to say. My shrink really doesn't have valuable input apart from take this pill.
How do you feel about that?
I feel terrible.
Awesome. So we decided to keep this episode a little lighter and talk about our celebrity crushes. That's something we hardly discuss. Celebrity crushes. First time you jacked off to some on TV or whatever.
Great content for my political future, guys.
Yeah,
I love you.
Do you? Yeah.
Hey, we all masturbate. Yeah, like correct. I think our politicians are masturbating in fucking parliament. So let's all watching
and becoming ministers.
Clearly, the politicians.
He recently came up, right? Again in conversation, I recently heard about this guy who
Bangalore. They became ministers.
But I recently
the guy became home minister because the government changed and they became ministers.
Wow. Yeah. What could if people knew I was if people publicly knew I was masturbating, I could have done great things. This guy became.
He would have become a minister and jerked out the country.
Oh my God.
Pull a fast one.
Yeah. Ooh.
Rubber dub inside my hub.
You can't pull out here.
Yeah.
Then?
Anyways, so I remember, so I'll go back to my childhood. And so surprisingly, like, because I did not have queer porn access directly as a child, so at the humble age of 13, I watched Conan the Barbarian. I don't know if you'll remember that. But like, fucking Arnold is just like muscle, just like a bag of football-shaped.
The terrible wig.
Chest. Yeah, terrible wig. But like, that movie had a lot of implicit sex. Like,
did you see the Indian version with Salman Khan? Surya Vansham.
Oh, is that what it is?
Surya Vanshi. Surya Vanshi.
You have to get the reference right. Surya Vansham is Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, the double Amitabh Bachchan always playing on Set Max. I love that movie
That's
too.
Not
but
the one.
Surya Vanshi. The one with Salman Khan and Amrita Singh, Saif Ali Khan's ex-wife.
Wow.
But he has the exact wig, exact everything.
Conan the Barbarian.
Khudaai kem chodai.
You pulled this one out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Arnold.
Sorry. So Arnold and there was a sex scene where he basically is offered like a woman slave and he proceeds to hump her like a Austrian man.
But back then even Hollywood
I think even his
wasn't
last name is sort of like masturbation. By the time you said it, you've orgasmed.
Yeah.
Like
Shivaji Nagar.
Shivaji Nagar.
But I'm surprised you found Conan. Okay, but there was no sexual shit happening in Terminator and all. So.
Yeah.
Except True Lies. Who remembers True Lies?
I remember True Lies.
I remember jerking after that strip dance that...
I don't remember you jerking off with that scene because we didn't know
Jamie Lee Curtis jerks off. I jerk off to... Wait, what's happening?
You all jerked off to each other.
I jerked off to Jamie Lee Curtis trying to please Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was a James Cameron movie, by the way. And that was one of the hottest dances I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, only replicated by the Navi scene where they put their ponytails together and have sex.
That was USB sex.
Nice
USB sex.
Yeah,
no,
it was
they
like
just connect each
no
other.
virus this way.
Yeah.
Shady.
Anish is like, where do I jump into this
I'm
conversation?
23. This is cultural references.
Yesterday when you learned masturbating.
I was privileged to grow up in a internet world where we did not have to do VCR.
Arey baap re. Can I tell you all the best story? It's not the best story, but we used to have VCRs, and back then it was very common for all of us to rent a VCR tape, and your parents are going out of town, so we'll rent it from. We had a place called Swagat in Pune, okay, which used to give you VCR tapes, and this is even before VCDs, okay. VCR is the only option, and we. Two friends would go on their bike, get it, and then it's 10 of us sitting in a room and all watching a porn movie.
That's so queer.
It was very queer, and I'm telling you, once it turned into a jerk-off thing, it was very hot back then. But one day the VCD guy did not have an English movie, so these guys got a Bangladeshi porn movie, and I'm not kidding you. It was Bangladeshis trying to talk in Hindi, and the entire movie, every dialogue was an airport reference. So when the guy gets a boner, he says, "Mera hawai jahaz udan ke liye taiyar hai." And then when he's about to come, he says, "Mera fuel leak ho raha hai." Mera fuel leak ho raha hai.
That's serious kink.
But do you think every porno does that in Bangladesh?
I don't know.
Like they're obsessed with lights to an extent.
I don't know why.
Maybe it's a kink, like this is the subcategory of Pornhub before there was a website.
Mera rotated blades ghum raha hai.
Who's your crush? If you have
I
to say
think
celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush, without doubt, Shahid Kapoor. I think growing up, queer moment was watching Jab We Met and being like, for sure, I am Geet.
Ye
and
mera
this
favorite
is the boy. मैं मेरी अपनी favorite हूँ. That is fixed.
What do you think it is
But
about Shahid Kapoor?
I think it's the beautiful fact that he's like that shy, cute little boy that he's sitting on the side and there's someone, cliche chocolatey, and then someone boisterous comes up and like just bullies him into liking her. I think that's a very relatable sort of romantic love journey for me also, and I think that was where I was like, this is what I want, and anybody who wants to marry me has to recreate Jab We Met. Like has to recreate every single minute of the movie, like including falling tomato and like train catching, and you have to rip me off for like 2 rupees at a rail near bottle at a railway station in
like
Ratlam.
Still, or this was back
No,
then?
no, even now.
Achha.
I think that even if
I
sort
might
of
have to watch Jab We Met again.
Everybody needs to watch Jab We Met because I think it was sort of a beautiful movie. I think it was also, for a part, it was a little bit about him being like, shit, I'm never going to get this girl because she's gone off with Anshuman, and then it was such a cute ending where like
Iski maa ki?
And then you like Anshuman gets dumped on the ganne ki khet. So I feel like that's so.
I have done that thing though where like she takes the ex's photo and she burns it and he encourages her ki jala de.
Same.
I have done that too with my ex. I have video proof.
I remember I saw Jab We Met only when it had come out. I've never seen it after that, but for some odd reason I just remember the movie having very absurd like twists, like little progress. Like I remember they get into a lodge, they are in a lodge and it turns out to be like a brothel.
A sex lodge,
yeah. I thought like
I stayed in a one like that in Paharganj in Delhi. It was me reliving my Jab We Met fantasies unintentionally. But
how was it? Like anything?
My bed was shaped like a heart and I did not trust the sheets. That should tell you enough. There was
fuck.
Don't go to Paharganj, listeners. Do not stay in something that costs you 800 rupees a night.
I had a Shahid Kapoor phase too, and I like. No, the only reason I thank Shahid Kapoor for it is because I was in a very weird phase before that. I was into Zaid Khan. Khan, do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Who looks like a fish came to life. If you think about it. Like, I can imagine exactly where his
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
you look a little lost.
He's the one who said
Fardeen Khan's younger cousin brother.
No, he's Suzanne Khan's brother. Hrithik Roshan's brother-in-law.
Okay.
And he said that line famously in Mehuna, Gaya to Gaya, baby. That was just like...
So random you are. How do you remember these
Because
things?
I watched Mehuna way too many times. Like
I love that movie, but I don't remember this.
This guy.
Yeah, no, you're seeing current pictures. Yeah, ऐसा नहीं होता है.
Now he's fine. Earlier he was like a lanky ass...
I don't know. And you know
like
me.
Hobo Jesus personality.
Yeah, Hobo
Very
Jesus is a good example. But I was Imran Khan.
Irfan Khan.
Irfan Khan.
Imran Khan is a singer who sang Amplifier.
And Pakistani PM.
Oh,
babre. This is
He's also
I've jerked off to all these people. I don't even remember their names. Who am I? But then Shahid Kapoor happened, and I feel like some thoda. Then it moved to Siddharth Malhotra. And
that's
this is all Bollywood.
That's very recent.
Yeah. But I'm saying like I feel like he's got that new age chocolatiness. Like you move away Cadbury Dairy Milk. Here comes dark chocolate.
No,
even though he's not.
Should I throw in my names now? Like Satish Shah. Satish Kaushik.
Just edit this.
Like Adnan Sami. Like I was just like,
I actually think Adnan Sami is cute.
Now,
Post
because
or
he was
pre?
late, or like
No,
before?
like where I don't even know what he looks like.
So
now.
I had this whole, I don't know if I repeated this in the podcast, but I had a massive Adnan Sami phase. Like to this day, I have a scrapbook dedicated to Adnan Sami, wherein I keep all the paper clippings and everything. And my boyfriend's right here. He'll attest to that.
This is absurd.
Yeah, it went a little crazy.
I'm not ever, even if you told me like you're already, I think in the previous episode discussed about how Narendra Modi is a daddy.
Correct.
But so I'm not going to judge you
I'm
on
not the
any
only one by the
But
way.
scrapbook and all is like, fuck,
Yeah,
that much?
It became a little psycho.
Yeah.
That much?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also interesting because Adnan Sami is not the conventional sort of person you'd have a scrapbook for. He's a singer.
Yeah.
Like he's not an actor. Like you're not constantly seeing him. There's very little content. So I think scrapbook makes more sense, because chalo Shahid Kapoor, I'll watch 10 movies. There's enough material there.
Yeah.
But Adnan Sami, where am I going to watch him? Like
Yeah, just
Like, how
fingering
many
his
times
piano.
Indian
like
Idol.
at some, isn't he
he's
the
like-
world's fastest keyboard
He
player
was,
or
he
something?
was. Yeah,
Fuck that.
at his age. Quite something. So what happened is like, this is the way I perceive it, because I was just like in college then. I moved from school, I went to college, and I was a young boy who was gay, who knew he was gay, who was also very hardcore Christian. So I did not know where exactly I placed myself in the radar of like, talking about my orientation. So I kept to myself. But in college, whenever someone's like new to you, they try to like dig some talent out of you. And mine was singing. I was obsessed with like becoming an Indian Idol star at that point. Little aspiration from a young boy, whatever.
Sure.
So I sang an Adnan Sami song, which is from the movie Darling. I don't know if you know it. Sathiya.
what's the song?
Sathiya, like that one song. So it's an obscure song,
okay.
but I would sing like Adnan Sami, and my friends started calling me that. Okay. They're like, yeah, this guy's like got like a voice like Adnan Sami.
Sure.
And then, okay, my young queer mind is also like, hey, I think I like this guy. I've always seen him growing up.
Yeah.
And now he's that proper kind of chubby which attracts me also. So I put way too much of my aspirations onto that one personality as like, this is a guy, not knowing that I was queer for him. I just knew that I liked him so much. I revered him.
Okay.
And if you read my scrapbook, you'll be like, who the fuck is this child?
Sure.
So like from there, I obviously grew up, and so I'm sorry, I'm spitting all over the place. But
Control yourself,
I'm
man.
drooling right now because of
Oh
Adnan
my
Sami.
god.
So
Your
yeah.
boyfriend is sitting right.
But tell me
He
something.
knows about it.
Okay. So obviously you jerked off at some point to Adnan Sami.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens? Like you go down. Just tell me, what's the scenario like?
No, वो lift करा देता है मेरे को. That's what happens. You go down, मतलब क्या? How would I go down on him?
ये बहुत poetic है. Huh?
Sorry.
This is sounding very made up.
Yeah, and now because you said Shahid, I'm like, should I say? Because mine, I feel like I have to say there were two, and they were my crushes because I grew up with the we grew parallelly. Even though Leonardo DiCaprio is way older than me, I feel like he was my crush I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like Gilbert Grape. I remember that was my... Actually, a lot of people don't know this. There was a movie called Total Eclipse.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
About the poet Arthur Rimbaud.
Yeah.
Arthur Rimbaud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arthur Rimbaud was like this really haggard looking fucking poet who falls in love with this young twink while he has a pregnant wife. And that entire movie, he and Leonardo DiCaprio are just like, and Leonardo DiCaprio was like 14 in that movie. And I was like fucking 10 or 12. And I was just like, oh my god, this boy is so beautiful. And then back then we used to have like Titanic postcards and also I feel like there was always, in fact when Titanic came out and there was that, literally he's not even shirtless in that movie. The one scene like, in the car scene, like thoda he's sweaty after sex and the handprint and all happens. I'm not proud of this. I jerked off 14 times that day. I remember I was keeping a count because
In a day?
insatiable.
It was
insatiable. I was just like, I remember I felt like my dick was going to abandon me and just like, fuck you, I can't live here anymore. Like,
I'm amazed it works anymore.
It's like I'm going to the emergency room myself.
A lot of times you had this, what's the maximum you jerked off in a day? You ever got?
Yeah,
you had
7.
That?
I've done 7
I
max.
immediately think of the day I saw Titanic. Like it was like, fuck, that was the day. And saw Titanic, I saw it in the theatre of course, but later on when it came for the first time on like cable TV, and we used to have one of those cable TVs where 9 se 12 Titanic, then it ends, then 12 se 3 Titanic, like that. Fucking continuous. I was on throughout that movie. It was
when we had a DVD player, like my mom was sleeping one day and I was like in the hall, like fast forwarding that scene again and again. The painting scene basically, where she enters, he's getting his his pens and books ready, and she comes and drops the gown. So again, like I was not into Kate Winslet at all. I was like, the idea that she dropped the gown so gracefully, I would keep rewinding that and watching it because just like that shot is beautiful. It's amazing. Like fucking like you can see through
The
her
silk
and the silk and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
gorgeous,
yeah, I know what
fucking
you
everything.
mean.
My mom is like, why is he going back again and again on this girl's boobs? And back then you don't know how to explain it to her that this is not what I'm going for. So I just said yes. I'm like, yeah, fuck her. I'm jerking off with this girl, I guess.
Not knowing that in reality you're jerking off to Adnan Sami.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
But did either of your parents have like any like idea of like through your crushes? You know what I'm trying to ask?
There was never a reveal as such. Like they knew about my Adnan Sami fixation. In fact, because I could not afford to like go to a printer or whatever to a computer shop and get printouts, I asked my sister to go to her office and I mailed her like all the research work I had wanted to like print out and everything, photos. Like, and she's like, "Why is this?" I'm like, "I'm doing a project on Adnan Sami. It's like
fabulous.
For a thesis."
I really,
Fabulous.
in some fucking way, hope that he hears this episode.
Yeah.
So I almost went close to doing it. At the age of 16, he was hosting a reality show called Bowl Baby Bowl, which was calling for auditions for the show. It was a reality show where you had to go and judge it was a karaoke show basically. You had to know the words and everything. So at the age of 16, I forged my age as 18 on the form and I got in the third round of that contest. Like it was on Star 1, I remember. And I put like on the form that I am like massively in love with him and please put me on the show. I want to meet him. So I reached the final level and everything and that's when they found my age and they were like, hey, sorry.
So you not get to meet
I don't get to meet him.
You just would have dry humped his leg.
So if anybody out there listening knows Adnan Sami somehow, like just like
please connect Navin to him.
I just want to show him my scrapbook and be like, this was
Is
me.
that what they're calling it?
Look what I did for you, man. Look what I did for you.
Yeah.
Sure. Is it sticky?
The outer pages are.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't make the inside.
Salami. Chichi, what's happening, guys? What the fuck is going on?
My crushes are not relevant enough.
Not. Sometimes I want an episode just to like dissect how, because sometimes what titillates us, yeah? Sometimes I wish... But I wish there was some sort of a science that looked into that. Like why? I'll give you an example. I was dating girls for most of my life. Of course, I fucked tons of dick and everything on the side, but everything. But the first time, I thought that in my head it was like this, right? Like, yeah, I'm bisexual. I'm into guys too, but I know I'll end up with a girl because I want kids someday. Like that was my But there was the last time that I dated someone for like 4 years, this girl. That time I was like, you know what? I don't want to get married till I at least am once in a relationship with a guy. Yeah. When I finally broke up with her, for the first time that I decided to date a guy properly, I met this boy. He was like fascinating to me. I don't know why. He was from Darjeeling, Northeastern. And he wasn't into me at all. He wasn't into me at all. And this was in my hot phase, I'm just saying.
Wow.
So, as compared to when?
I was so bereaved because, and I don't mean to make it sound like everything was a conquest in my life, but for some odd reason, I used to have this unabashed cockiness about, I get every job I interview for, and every person who I've asked out or has asked, I've dated or had sex with or whatever, and this boy comes and he's the first one who's like, no, I'm sorry, like... And after him, I had a phase where I just wanted Northeastern, Asian looking. There are so many like things to navigate here without using the wrong words. But like, my friends call me a noodle queen. Okay, blame it on them. But I had a phase, like it was a good 3-4 year phase where, you just can't think outside. If you had to have sex with Draco Malfoy, could you?
No.
See, there you go. But Hagrid?
Yeah. Of course.
So that, for me, it was like, I just couldn't look beyond that. And so much so, can I tell you something? I had this creepy thing where I found a boy who looked like him. A lot like him, kind of the same hairstyle. And I almost got into a relationship. That's how far that fucking lightning struck in my head. Yeah. So sometimes I wish we just knew, like, why do you get attracted to what you're attracted to? Why do you get attracted? Because I know it's more than... Okay, tell me another example, Anish, apart from Shahid Kapoor.
So I think another example...
median mode.
But I think it's also like personality traits that sometimes you really get attracted to. My other favorite movie star on this planet is Hugh Grant in Notting Hill. Pitaji. And I swear to God, my other fantasy is to have a home with a blue door. I just want a house with a blue door.
Okay.
And I want this beautiful, like...
With Hugh Grant in it.
With Hugh Grant, if it comes with the house, I'm not complaining. can barely afford the house, Hugh Grant might be a stretch. Uska hourly rate will be very different. Going back to our last podcast. But so I think it's the sort of idea that he's this like shy, reserved person at a bookstore, and this is this famous woman who's coming up to him, and he doesn't even recognize her, and they fall in love, and then she sort of comes in, and he's such a dunce when she's coming in, and he's like trying to figure out what to give her to eat, etc. And then they go and they dance in the middle of this park, they climb over, and it's, you know, like it's sort of dreamy romance, but not conventional. It's more the sort of shyish romance. So I think chocolate boy-ish, but I think also a big type is what you don't get, right? I think all these men, Shahid Kapoor, Hugh Grant, are like your conventional straight guy. Like they're very...
Hugh Grant, I'm having a tough time. All the things, like I don't find him chocolatey. But again, I feel it's so forged in your perception of how you see things sometimes that...
But like Hugh Grant or Shahid Kapoor could be somebody on the street and they would just pass by unnoticed, you know? They'd be very attractive, obviously. And they'd be like, obviously now that they're famous, they'll be recognizable. But they, like, you know, you wouldn't easily identify them as queer. And I think a lot of times it's that.
In fact, I'm so happy you said that because with Leonardo DiCaprio, Gilbert Grape, I was sort of fascinated. There's one scene, he's I think he's spastic in the movie. So there's one scene where Johnny Depp
is autistic.
I'm not sure. But he's differently abled. That's the term, And Johnny Depp is giving him a bath. And I remember, oh my gosh, shirtless, But then Basketball Diaries came out. You remember that movie? And then there's one scene where his life gets so bad, he has to blow someone for money. And that's when I was like,
because you've never seen these guys do queer roles.
And then
even my own Private Idaho, if you remember.
It
had River Phoenix.
River Phoenix was one of the most beautiful men that... You know, and that's the thing I've heard... I'm going to say it because I don't think any podcast in the world has talked about River Phoenix ever. But I feel like he has transcended every person's type and everybody finds River Phoenix beautiful.
I remember this movie called Stand By Me where he plays like a kid's role. But I am so drawn to that because he's every friend I've put my hopes and aspirations in, but he's also turned out to be a bad grape. So River Phoenix was that I always say this, like, you know, they took the wrong Phoenix. and that's what I feel like. That's my
Which one should have gone? Like Joaquin Phoenix?
Of course.
Shut the fuck up.
If River Phoenix was alive, Joaquin wouldn't have a career, Just putting it out there. But River Phoenix, my own Private Idaho, like those scenes over there where he's like playing a gigolo. And then you have Keanu Reeves, the quintessential man right now in John Wick movies, but you see them vulnerable back then. It's quite like, that's what we don't think about them as, like, you know, having a queer touch to it almost.
In fact, I think he's the only celebrity left now in 2019 where we have so much fucking information and everything everywhere. I still sometimes just go like, hey, River Phoenix. And I Google image search him. And for some odd reason, his face is synonymous to a beautiful sunset. Because if you see a lot of his pictures, the lighting is a sunset. Like someone took a lot of pictures of River Phoenix when the sun was setting. And he's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. I really
have to go watch this movie now.
Go check it out.
Just Google search him. Kya aadmi tha.
Awesome. So we'll take a small break at this point.
Yes.
And we'll come back, and while Farhad is still mesmerized by...
Adjusting Qutub Minar.
Adjusting his Qutub Minar. We'll
as it's taking off.
Light का time निकल चुका है.
चल.
Boarding pass
Break में जा. चल.
Early landing.
Hey everybody, you know what we've got? We've got another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you haven't been following us on YouTube, please do a search for IVM CCTV and get a peek inside what's going on in the studio. You can see excerpts from Cyrus Says, Navin from Keeping It Queer, Akash from Varta Lab. There's stuff that we've done with Feeding 10 Billion. There are a whole bunch of little videos over there. Give it a watch and let us know what you think about that. This week on Cyrus Says, it's a podcast crossover as hosts of our new show, GayBCD Farhad Karkaria and Sunitra Lairi join Cyrus to talk about the meaning of being queer, how to defy labels, and how their podcast came about. Also, speaking of GayBCD, Farhad and Sunitra in their show delve into the family stories and recalling what it was like to navigate queerness as a kid. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam is joined by two guests, Ankur Chaudhary and Swapnil Bhaskar. They're the co-founders at Goldwise. They discuss the new features at Goldwise and transitioning from regular to direct mutual funds. On Golgappa, Trupti is joined by Mahesh Ane, award-winning cinematographer who is known for his work on Swades. He talks about the ups and downs that he encountered along the way in the film industry. On Ganatantra, Alok and Saryu are joined by Smitana Saikia of Flame University, Pune to talk about the history and impact of the NRC list and how it has caused marginalization in the Northeast. On another crossover, this time on What a Player, Mikhail and Siddhartha are joined by Sivram Parmeswaran, the host of the podcast Football Shitball. They talk about the thrill of watching football and following a club. On Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Janice and Anirudh look back at the best and worst moments of the 2019 Emmy Awards. On Advertising is Dead, Varun is joined by singer-songwriter Ankur Tiwari, who talks about how artists find new forms of expression and monetize their work. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
Welcome back to Keeping It Queer. The flight has landed. The eagle is bald. And Donald Trump is stupid.
Funny because I passed Dr. Batra's on the way here and I was like, oh dear.
The floor below us.
Batra Katra.
There's
no Dr. Batra, you know that? There's always it's just a name that they adopted.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
The dude who heads it is not called Dr. Batra.
No, how many Dr. Batras could we have? Because they have multiple clinics. It's not like he's apparating at every clinic and be like, hi, I'm Dr. Batra.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Or unless they only hire doctors who are called Batra.
And
that works with their brand mission. I don't know.
What are you saying?
The head consultant of every Dr. Batra has to be a Batra.
No, I've heard there is no Dr. Batra. It's just the name of the brand is... Kiehl's. Kiehl's is your fucking skeleton. They have a skeleton, you know that?
Oh,
the brand ambassador is a skeleton. When you go to any Kiehl's in any mall, they have these skeletons hanging. It's cute.
Like Ginny and Johnny. Who are these people?
They're kids. It's a brand.
They're generic kid names.
Yeah. And also, can I tell you, there was a very popular movie in the 70s with Mahmood and his real daughter called Ginny and Johnny.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was quite a very weirdly good movie. It's about how he gets separated from his real daughter, but it's a comedy movie.
Acha.
Yeah.
But isn't Lucky Ali also Mahmood's son?
Also, he had many offspring.
They had a lot of tiff between the family, no? Like Lucky Ali and...
Again, River Phoenix, I don't think anybody is discussed.
Oh, but yeah, Lucky Ali, man. Can we talk about Lucky Ali for a second? I remember watching the movie Sur and really being into him back then. Like those eyes and his voice.
Drawing a blank here, Naveen.
Yeah,
Lucky Ali, man.
I feel no.
What blank are you drawing though? About the person or
about the person also, about this movie also.
I like Lucky Ali. Like even now he's gotten all.
No, I don't know who he is. So
okay. Since you're doing crush,
oh Sanam,
come on.
Mohabbat ki kasam.
Are you? I don't know if you'll answer. But do you have a crush you're embarrassed to say that you've crushed on, or in the past, like someone you're like, oh, how the fuck did I jerk off to this guy? Is there someone? Do you want to come back to this question later on?
No, I don't think I have regret over jerking off.
I know because you lost me at Satish Shah, so no, Naveen, don't make that face. Come on.
If she was good enough for Maya Sarabhai, he's good enough for all of us. Okay?
So, that's true. Yeah. I also think he was phenomenal in Sarabhai.
He's a great actor, no denying that.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, even in I feel like one of the best compliments anyone can give anyone is, I jerked off to you. Like, is it? I feel great when someone's ever told me that. In fact, I heard one last week and I was so flattered every time I hear that, because when I'm joking after someone and I tell them I hope they are flattered. Wow. There's such an awkward silence in the studio.
How many people have you told this to?
I really tell people all the time, hey, I was just joking off to you yesterday.
Beautiful. I love your... Yeah.
I let all my friends know if I joke off to them. Not friends, but the ones I fuck at least. But I let them know. Like,
the ones you fucked, that you can tell them.
Yeah. But that is implied because then you also have the memories to use that as masturbating material.
But like telling sort of Shahid Kapoor I jerked off to, he'll be like, what did you jerk off to? Like, he'll be like, but what scene? He'll just be like, shit, like... Imagine the consciousness that will come about.
I find his brother also fucking cute.
Who's his brother?
Ishan Khattar, right? Sister concern.
Yeah.
He won the Filmfare Award.
For what?
For Best Debut.
Of course. Is there no category they cover? Like, every category is a category in
They introduced new categories this year as well.
No?
For 20 years of cinema. Best in 20 years.
Abroad. Best came back from abroad and made it kind of in Bollywood.
Best went to the bathtub and did not drown actor of the year.
Sridevi is holy for queer
It's
people.
holy for me as well, but like I think we can make fun of it.
Okay, so then that, like, did you have a
I think
female crush? Did you have
that's
a female
good one.
celebrity crush? A female celebrity crush? Come on.
Sridevi for sure. Like
Yeah?
she started it. Like in all, I remember watching Chalbaz when I was like 10 or 9. And that just like the movie stuck with me so like well, like I was reciting like Mera Balma like to random people, and my sister's name is Vilma, right? So I would go to her and like Mera Vilma, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I remember my sister once like this was around when she was 18 and Murder had come out, the movie Murder,
Malika
Sherawat and Imran Hashmi and whoever the third actor was, Ashmit Patel, I think.
It was Himanshu Malik, and by the way, that's the most I've got. Hey, you know that I've got that when I was
fuck!
I got that
shit.
the most.
Oh my god! Oh fuck!
Shut the fuck up.
Farhad, you do look like
I know. I've got that the most. Someone recently asked, we were at a party and the conversation going around was, what celebrity have you been told you resemble the most? And it's honestly this guy, the third guy from Murder. What the fuck do I do about that information? Like, fuck.
He's bald now though, so it's okay. Look at this guy.
Oh my god.
That's actually
it's uncanny.
A lookalike.
Do not Google. I repeat, do not Google the third actor.
Oh my
from
god.
Murder.
Please Google. What's his name?
Himanshu Malik.
Stop it.
You'll never see Farhad the same.
I've gotten Rishi Kapoor from Bobby.
Rishi Kapoor.
That's what it looked like in terms of this little chubby fair boy running around.
Okay.
That's one.
I get fucking generic.
Perks of being a wall. Oh yeah, I thought of perks of being a wallflower. You're such a. But that's
a
just
wallflower. Thanks, thanks, Farhad. I'm never coming back here again.
Character from Perks of Being a Wallflower. I don't. Ezra Miller.
Oh.
Yeah, but I have this one friend who looks exactly like Timothée Chalamet. Like from.
Then
he's
what the fuck is that?
He's straight. Stop.
He's straight.
Vying for my
so then even more reason. Huh?
The Farhad conversion therapy.
I mean, it's. I have once said and proven there are no straight men in France. And it is a statement that was executed through a straight boy at a party. So, maybe we won't date him, but...
Yeah, but have you ever had that moment where like you go to a straight boy and you tell them that you find them attractive and they're like suddenly flustered and they're all over the place?
I never had the balls.
Once a week.
Yeah.
But not in your... Again, I feel like this is a very tricky area to talk about because ever since the James Charles thing happened, I felt very confused that is it wrong to hit on a straight boy? But... it's just, and I don't want to call it a conversion rate, the amount of times it's worked out for me where I hit on a straight boy and I somehow...
What is the James Charles thing that has happened?
James Charles apparently had built this whole online idea that this boy hanging out with him, went to Coachella with, he apparently had this whole, how do I put it? He showed online that this is someone new in his life and in reality that was a straight person. And then more things came out of the closet where they had hooked up.
Wait, Abhi with the scoop, our reporter
Come
on the ground.
Come on. Give us the lowdown because I know I'm not doing it justice. This was one of those, James Charles had an issue and then she had an issue and then he kept releasing all these different accounts.
The reveal happened from Tati is what I remember, where she spoke about how he's...
he's hitting on us. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You know the whole Tati and the James Charles controversy?
No.
You're really far into Maharashtra.
Yeah. I was in Pathar doing
I do not know these people.
There is no internet there.
Honestly, I did not know of these people until that controversy happened. I did not know who James Charles was. In fact, when I saw him, I was like, iska face aate rehta either Twitter, pe, Instagram pe, I've seen him. But I don't follow nothing. I did not know who this was. I did not know who Tati was.
Yeah.
But they are apparently very popular YouTubers and they had a feud. They were best friends and then over one night, she put out a video because he endorsed some other brand. I feel like I'm boring everyone. He endorsed some other brand. She's a beautician.
The bottom line, he basically went for the straight boys and he made a lot of people uncomfortable to the point where it was like almost predatory behavior. At which point internet was like, hey, he's cancelled. And then everybody went to their own thing. But the idea is that as gay men, sometimes do we tend to like...
So I have never been abrasive ever. And it's not like I'm justifying it. It's just, I've always had this, hey, I had a good way to I don't know, and it's worked for me great.
Yeah, and so also how
you
go about it also is like a lot of my straight friends do get messages from random people. For example, my friend Rahul Pal was a good comic himself. He recently told me about like a girl who was texting him from a random profile. And she was like, hey, saw your comedy, I think you're really cute and everything. And like, he was like, okay, it's a girl and she finds me cute. And for most of us comics who are always like berating ki I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, someone says nice things about us, it feels almost great. So he was talking to this girl and then randomly he revealed himself to be a boy who made a pseudo account with a girl's face so as to like, you know, talk to straight boys with that intention and say that, okay, now can I suck your dick as a gay boy? Now he's my friend, okay? He knows me, he knows that I talk about these issues in the public limelight. Yeah. So he's like, how do I talk about this without making it look like he's the bad person? And I'm like, he is the bad person. If he's doing all of this shit,
that's catfishing.
The gender, the race, the orientation doesn't matter if someone's doing this to you. So it's wrong irrespective of that. It's not like this because we are gay, we're on a fucking higher level above everybody and we can do whatever you want. You know?
You can just also nicely say that, sorry, I'm straight. So
exactly.
I don't think will work out.
Yeah.
But that person came on so strong that you don't know how to tackle this. Because you don't want to be like gali de ke bhaga de types also. I remember I was sitting in McDonald's outside Andheri station once, and Andheri station is like a proper hub of like cruising. Like the two McDonald's and both dono ke bar there's always gay boys roaming around. Which is weird because it's a cop station right in the middle of these junctures. So this one femboy came to the McDonald's and he was being very loud also, so we all noticed. And I myself was on a date after work at 11 in the night. I'd gone to meet a guy at McDonald's just to chill. And after the date was almost done, like we hear a commotion, okay? And I see this boy who was earlier being loud went and sat next to a random straight boy who had no idea who he is or whatever, and said something very to the lines of ki burger ko chhod mujhe pakad and all of that shit.
Kya chhod?
Burger chhod, mujhe pakad. Like, that kind of thing. So this guy, without any intimation, just like went for the back punch, right? The knuckle on the spine thing.
Yeah.
And that hit the person very hard, and then that person ran out. The straight boy ran after the person, and then like the cops got involved. And now like there's an entire commotion outside Andheri station where everybody's staring at the person who's like weirdly like, you know, not keeping it inside, like, you know, because he feels that he's been wronged by not letting a straight person touch him. So there's a very weird conversation happening right now, and I don't know where I fall on that argument because clearly he was just minding his business, reading his book.
He was being if that's what happened, see, you weren't there.
Exactly.
You never know.
But I'll also say now, how many straight men do we all know who will use the most bizarre pickup lines on women at bars or women anywhere? Where they'll be like, तेरे को मेरे whatever airplane में fly करना है क्या? मेरा airplane खड़ा, whatever. So I mean, if somebody is
but yeah, if
using a pickup line on you, maybe as long as he's not violently taking your dick and like jerking it off.
I feel like there is some level of.
We don't condemn it, no. If you're going up to a girl and just saying something like, it's not the best pickup line in the world, but it's somebody going up. He says, "Nahi." Go. If you continue
in your head, you think that the guy says no, and that guy's reaction is not even to say no. You know, he's like, "I'm doing my shit. Do not enter my space."
But you can't punch somebody. No?
It's like homophobia combined with that.
Exactly. So I think, you know, that's
I felt like that
every time a girl gets the right
better.
To throw a drink on. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I felt like the femboy. Like I feel she should have.
He should
have. Exercise better control, or I don't know, exercise better judgment. Like you can't just go up and expect. This happened yesterday. I don't know who. Again, I did not know until day before yesterday. But there's a very popular South African motivational speaker who everybody loves on Twitter. I did not know about this person at all, and he put up this. This exact debate broke out yesterday. He put up this, I've come such a long way, it's my 23rd birthday, and he put out a post and some fucking 80,000 retweets, and one girl tweeted to him saying, "You made me very uncomfortable when you asked me if you could touch me down there while dropping me home." And this whole exact debate broke out that, was it wrong that he asked? Obviously it was, but it was in the context of a date. You know what I mean? And this whole Aziz Ansari thing came back, you know? Like, what the fuck? Although, this is a conversation.
That was very different. I think Aziz Ansari was different. This, I think, again, goes on to power dynamics also, no? Like, this femboy at a McDonald's doesn't have the power. Probably this dude is very bulky, muscular. He's got the bloody guts to punch this dude. Like, don't. Like, probably the guy is coming out of the closet recently, doesn't know what to do. As queer kids, you don't really know how to deal with these situations. So you're really sort of figuring it out on your own. If you're going around and hitting on somebody, or you're like going on too aggressively, of course. But this seems like clear case of homophobia.
Yeah, I think like what works sometimes is not being outside the train but inside, because then they have no option. That's one thing.
It's such a
2x2
shady thing to say.
yacht pe leke jaun.
But that's true.
They can't run
like,
away.
Dude, like I have had some fucking crazy experiences. You think that boy sitting next to a street boy and asking him that burger line was bad? I was standing. I was like 19, dude. I was very young, going to my college in the train, and I'm just minding my own business. So I used to travel with a group first because they would keep me safe in a way. They always like college kids could let them inside, and during my time, a lot of kids had died, and there were petitions going around for making a new coach for us. None of that happened. So the men themselves became protective of the kids. Okay, so if I stood in the middle between two men, okay, like they're sitting down and I'm still standing over there. Like if I lean my leg a little bit to the side, they're like, "Kya gulgiri kar raha hai?" Like that's the way they use the first language. Okay, so I was very like, "Oh shit, I can't be gay around these people because they're like my family or whatever." So one day I'm standing between my friends, and one random uncle in a safari suit climbs after me. Okay, and he's been after me since the station. So he's seen me, he's observed me, he climbs behind me, and is standing behind me. Okay, and every time like I move a little, he adjusts his crotch to come to my butt. Okay, and I'm like, "Oh, this is too much." And I also don't know, because I don't know how this will go with my friends liking it, looking at me and like thinking, "Oh, he's liking it." So I got out of the whole middle area, went near a door, okay, looking outside. Still crowded train, okay. So now this guy follows me through the whole thing, and now he's behind me. So I'm like, okay, he'll go for my wallet, go my phone, I don't know. So I put my hand on my jeans pocket, like this, like cup my phone, okay. He takes his dick out, you guys.
Oh, wow.
And puts it in my cupped hands, assuming that that's what my indication was, ki, hey, put your dick in my hand. And I just like, now I had the option of like subtly telling him or making a scene, and I made a scene. I'm like, kya fucking putting a hand, putting it in my hand, and everybody in the train compartment became a little uncomfortable almost. Like there was a sudden like shift of people away from us, because with me calling it out, it made almost people believe that I wanted it almost, and now this is the next level in which I'm saying no to. And so it became very awkward for my friends. They were all staring at me, what is this? Are you encouraging this behavior and everything? That man was never seen in the train again. But the fact that he thought it was okay to put his dick out and put it in my hand when I was like a 19-year-old kid is what scares me sometimes.
Oh my God.
Because even if you look queer, like you said, right, the first instinct is you wanted it initially, now you're saying no.
Yeah.
Like, whereas I think we've reached beyond that conversation for male on female sexual assault, where, you know, if you're calling it out, nobody's going to be like, you wanted it.
Yeah.
Or even that still happens. But I can imagine, like, if it was a very femme-looking boy in the train, etc., and this had happened, people would not even care. They'd be like, haan rehne de. So I don't know. But I think it's also interesting because just the other day I was also discussing this with somebody about boundaries, and with queer people, I think the boundaries sort of are so different.
Extremely.
Like sending a nude.
Yeah.
I think, which in the context of male to female sexual assault is a massive violation of privacy, right?
That is a high. That's a
Wait,
Exactly.
sending a nude as in?
Like a random nude.
Okay.
Like,
without someone.
Without
Okay,
consent.
okay,
Like, but
okay.
how many boys have sent
Sure.
me nudes on Insta? Yeah? Like, just randomly, out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
I was the
on
other day I was
Grindr.
talking about how sexting itself, you had your first risque photos, then it moved to dick pics, and
Then
nowadays
it moved to
when
aesthetic. Yeah.
then it moved to aesthetic. Nowadays I get straight up fuck videos. Do you ever like if you ask someone, like a lot of them now the new exchange is directly like sex
Used
videos.
to happen a lot in New York, not here. I've not seen that here yet,
like,
but I've not
here's
been
me getting
on
fucked.
Grindr yet.
Here's me fucking someone. Like it's become so common, and something even I'm guilty of. If the person's sending me that kind of content, sure, I'll send you my kind of. But I have like tens of fucking layers, and this is something I want to tell everyone. A lot of people don't do this. But I write the person I'm sending it to, I put their name right on the most enjoyable part of the sex video, so that if it ever leaks, I know which motherfucker did it at least. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do that. So if it's
Nice.
like, I don't know, I just feel like
Smart.
everybody should do
That's
that.
very
Because a
smart.
lot of times when I send it, they're like, hey, why is my name written on this? And I'm like, just so I know, if you're ever a dick and you put this out there, I will come for you.
Yeah.
Like Liam Neeson, bringing back to celebrity crushes.
Celebrity
Yeah.
crushes.
Yeah.
Do you like
This
Liam
is-
Neeson though?
No, but I love the way he fights at this age.
I like the way he talks. The voice is like when he
Yeah,
played Aslan in Narnia.
Yeah.
I want to know who this guy is. Like,
Hey, wait. We totally jumped one thing though. I wanted to know female. Like, really, you said
Sridevi was a catchphrase.
Sridevi, but did you have like strong?
I had what's her name? Why am I forgetting her name? Devil Wears Prada.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. I think I had a big thing.
That's a template.
That's also embarrassing though.
I think Meryl Streep could one day just wake up and be like, all gays will bow down and I'll gag all of you all and put you on leather straps and ride you all. And we'll be like, yes, please do that.
Yes.
Your feet on my back, I would love it.
Sure.
That's how.
She and Electra in Pose.
Oh, Electra. I wish you would have met our other
Yeah.
videographer whose voice is exactly
Sounds
like
exactly
Electra.
like Electra, yeah.
That would be...
But
especially season 2, spoilers guys. So when she transforms into a new role, let us not give more spoilers. But that is just like...
But they totally fucking crimped her role in the second season. Anybody else feel that? I felt like her
I just feel like
dialogues
they had no idea where to go with her character after season 1.
Yeah.
They fucking put a dead body in a cupboard, Like, what the hell? They could have done so. Sorry, spoiler alert. I don't, but seriously, like, what the fuck, man? Like, I felt like it was just, it became so much about the song and dance.
Though, every season has a new writer. So they have this
right.
weird sort of thing where they give it to a new person entirely. So each season looks different.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I thought season 2 was so beyond
wishy-washy.
Also, it was like,
wishy-washy.
it made no sense.
Yeah.
Like it was
It
like a
became more
Bollywood movie with all of its
the
plot twists. I was
songs and
like,
the dance, and I was like, yaar, kya chal raha hai? I wanted, and you know, I'm not a RuPaul's person or anything. So when I loved Pose in the first season, I was like, I'm so surprised that I like this show so much.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you have to get into. Like right now I'm watching Unbelievable, and like, I'm so into it and plot elements and keys, you know what I mean? But Pose, you don't need all of that. You can just fucking sit back, relax, and it's
but his is Sridevi, mine is
Electra
and the Devil Wears Prada. What is yours? Meryl Streep.
So when I was a straight boy, and she still is in so many ways. I love Salma Hayek all my life. I don't know why. I just had some weird. Even the other day on her Instagram, she put up this beautiful. She's just behaving like she's drowning. She looks so beautiful. She wasn't drowning. And I'd have to say Tilda Swinton.
Ooh.
I don't know. If I know Tilda Swinton is in something, I'm very game.
I mean, like she played, a boy in one movie, right? She played who's a singer?
I will tell you.
Country singer.
I will tell you. Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Where are you? Where am I?
Sorry?
That was Kate Blanchett.
But that was Kate Blanchett, I'm sorry.
But Tilda Swinton was also one of the characters, by the way.
Correct.
In that movie. Yeah,
But
Where
she
am
played
I?
boy.
Where am I? She was, I just don't, there's something about her albinism type look. I don't know, she's got something, I just find her so fierce looking.
Even she was in Narnia, by the way. She was the witch.
That's the one I wasn't into this in her entire career. Narnia is the only one I was like, whatever. But after that, even your Marvel, she's like one of the time people in Doctor Strange.
Time people, yeah.
What are they called?
She's the time people of time zone.
This is why I did not come dressed in anything Marvel for your birthday. Okay?
She's the one true... I forgot what she is.
Timekeeper.
Yeah, she's a timekeeper. She's like, kitna baje hai? She's like, 5 baje hai.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So no regret hookups? Sorry.
What?
Lots of those.
What episode are you in? What dimension are you in?
No. Lots of those, I'm sure.
Those I don't have to think about so long.
Oh my god.
All of them.
Regret hookups. They're the worst. They're the worst. But no regret crushes? None of them? Mine would be Zahid Khan. I already
Hrithik
said
Roshan,
it.
I would say. I had a Hrithik Roshan phase also.
I was just telling someone today, I'll tell you something very weird. My mom's biggest lover for her celebrity crush all her life was Shashi Kapoor.
Aww.
Yeah. So, and then Kaho Na Pyar Hai came out, and I remember her making these type of sounds when Hrithik Roshan was. It was very like, Mom, calm the fuck down. There's
like,
enough caramel on this popcorn. And
Okay then.
so when you open my mom's cupboard, okay, there's a picture of her having tea with Shashi Kapoor when she met him. Then there's a picture of Hrithik Roshan from Ek Pal Ka Jeena. And then there is my passport size photo under it. It is
Enough to give you an inferiority complex.
Huh?
Enough to give you an inferiority complex. You're like,
I just don't understand what's happening. Whenever I
there
open
should be a
that door,
nicer
I'm
photo of you.
like, fuck, and my brother's photo is not even there. So I'm like, what the fuck is
wow.
happening here?
So Shashi Kapoor is the one who's Rishi Kapoor's brother, right?
They all
Not Shami Kapoor. Shami Kapoor is the uncle.
They all, fuck, don't even get into that. That's a separate episode, all these Kapoors. But, okay, Ranbir Kapoor, Shashi Kapoor, fuck, I don't know.
Ranbir, Rishi,
Why?
and Shashi are brothers. All cute, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's how you want to talk about this. Okay.
I don't want to talk about. You brought them up. Fucking
that's
nice.
your like little
family union.
Yeah, one of those.
I'm just like put me between the Kapoor brothers and I'm okay.
Incest vibes.
Ram teri Ganga meli ho gayi.
Oh my god.
I mean,
I'm so sorry, Anish. This was our next episode with you.
Ram Teri Ganga Meli is.
Yeah.
No, but also I think celebrity crushes who I've been guilty for, and this I don't feel guilty anymore because I feel it's a reinvention. Simi Garewal.
Oh my god!
Like I want to be on Rendezvous.
Yeah, she taught everybody to put on Rendezvous in the first
place. Can I tell you all
yeah.
something? And I feel like Assange when I say this story, but I feel like there was this one night when the Taj attacks had happened. The next day there was a debate, okay, on NDTV, and I feel like me and my friend witnessed something that nobody else witnessed because when they replayed that episode, they cut it out. But I know NDTV, if they're listening, they know what I'm talking about.
And they're listening to a podcast.
Basically, Rock On was about to release then, and for some odd reason, Taj attacks. There's a debate the next day with Barkha Dutt, and the cast of Rock On is talking about terrorism. Like there's Farhan Akhtar, Simi Garewal, Arjun Rampal, Luke
She's not
Kenny.
even in Rock. Simi Garewal
but she was there. She happened to be there in the debate as one of the panelists. But 2-3 Rock On ka people were there on it.
Okay.
And the conversation is going on like, oh, we should do this. And what about our system security is so lax in our country? All this fucking heated debate. And the show's about to end, okay? And Barkha is all like, guys, last view, and whatever. And she's about to close the show and Simi Garewal goes, I want to say something. So Barkha hands the mic and this is what she said. When I'm at the Four Seasons Hotel and I look down at all the slums, I see all these Pakistani flags waving everywhere. And I'm not kidding, the moment she said that, a guy jumped out of the audience and he grabbed the mic from Simi Garewal and he says, this is the villain. She is the villain. He actually said that.
Wow.
She is the enemy. She is the real terrorist. And Barkha said, cut. Okay. And me and my friend were just stumped when we saw this. Okay. For a second, like, wow, did she really say that?
Now this is embarrassing.
When I'm at the Four Seasons Hotel, she started like that and I looked down at all the shanties.
Next show, Rendezvous with Kasab. Like,
and when that show played again, after 2 hours, I think, because that time, the news was so fucking on for those 7 days or whatever, they cut that part out.
Dude, I remember when the 2011 attacks were happening, and I'm such a dickhead because everybody, my father's not at home, okay? And there was a WWE TLC match I wanted to watch with Booker T in it. And so my mom went to the kitchen to wash dishes. My sister went to the bathroom, and I shyly just quickly changed the remote and called the remote and put to 10 sports. And I remember my mom came out and hit me with the baton so hard. I forgot WWE happened in real life.
For changing the channel.
It was everybody's covering constantly shootouts happening.
Yeah, I got thrashed when I went to Pune.
But one good thing is I have hooked up with the 2011 Survivor. No biggie. This guy was in the Taj Hotel. And
at the Taj Hotel?
Not at the Taj Hotel.
Okay, I was just like...
We hooked up at Mira Road Station, actually. So, that's not...
I'm just trying to process that.
Yeah.
And you said that's the good thing. Okay.
It's not a good thing. I mean,
cool.
He went missing after 2 days of us talking, so maybe...
Wait, how long after? This is way after many years.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up after that.
Okay.
So it was in 2016.
Wow, Jesus. I saw that movie recently, by the way, the Taj movie with... our Slumdog guys.
Dev
Patel. Have you ever seen it?
No.
With Anupam Kher. It's actually it's well done.
I can't watch anything with Anupam Kher in it. I refuse.
Even, honestly, I did not because I felt like, what's the word for it? Like when a movie uses a tragedy as what's the term for it?
Anupam Kher.
No, when a movie uses a tragedy like...
Ram Gopal Verma.
To make a movie, to make money off
Roland
it.
Emmerich.
Fuck you guys, man. What the hell?
If you don't know the word, then don't come to us.
Like, how Dharavi is poverty porn. Like that,
conflict porn.
Okay, so there's something. Okay, so I thought it would be that movie, but it was done very well. It was quite well done. And apparently it's a true story. And I thought, okay, well done, Anupam Kher in the movie.
I would only watch it for Dev Patel.
Oh my God. Yeah. In Lion.
Yeah.
When Dev Patel is shirtless, I'm like, and I like Dev Patel when he was this weird he looked like a hatchling from a giant bird egg in Skins, if you remember the UK version of Skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Paki kid in that.
Correct.
And there was one scene where he's standing at his window and jerking off, and his mom catches him and he turns around, and I thought he was like the weirdest looking boy. And then I saw him shirtless in Lion after years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, what happened? He was so beautiful. But he cried so much in that movie. I just was like, shut the fuck up, man. Get it together.
That movie was depressing.
Yeah.
But it was lovely.
It was alright. Could have taken like 5 minutes to search his parents if he was alive now. But I don't know. I don't like it. I don't even like Slumdog, dude. It's such a weird
No, I
movie.
hated Slumdog.
That also is thoda poverty porn movie.
कितना ज़्यादा उसमें वो
थोड़ा?
कूद में गिर रहा है वो सब वो
Yeah, but back then, come on, it's one of those things which you enjoy. Like,
no, dude, Danny Boyle did it. That's why people are like, yo, give it an Oscar. Otherwise, if they made like Salam Bombay,
yeah, but when it was out, you were all like, this is a terrible movie.
I actually danced with Jeho, and I won
So
a
there you
contest.
go. There you go.
I really like
We all
Jai-Ho.
have, yeah. Macarena, everybody likes it back then. Now you're like, what the
What's
fuck?
about Macarena that's got to
Yeah,
do with
what's happened to
Jeopardy?
Macarena?
I
Macarena's
don't
still
know.
relevant.
I'm like, what the fuck is this song?
Yeah.
Un, dos, tres.
Gopala Maria.
I used to love those things, but now I'm like, what the fuck is this song?
No, I still love those things. If they
Ketchup
play-
song.
These are the songs that play at Tryst post 1:30.
Yeah.
Tryst.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, oh God, I have, yeah.
I heard the funniest thing. I was,
I'm
Tryst
revealing my
was
age too much.
No. Also, like,
I'm going to Tryst.
Tryst is the one where they let all those underage kids in.
Correct.
I was at Tryst with a few friends, and apparently a lady had escorted like her daughter and like 20 of her friends to Tryst for a birthday party.
Yeah.
And I think they all were drinking.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised that these girls
So the
didn't know.
Tryst, you don't need like government ID. You need a school ID card to enter. So if you prove
And
that you're from a school, then you're
The
in.
funny thing was they have a unisex bathroom also.
I think so.
Because I was in there and I was washing my hand and suddenly like 10 fucking girls and that lady come in, and one of the girls got a shard of glass in her foot.
Oh, fuck.
And I just stood there for like 10 minutes. It was amazing, that conversation.
Oh,
because
shit.
she was worried that girl's mother is going to find out. And
Also,
then
there's mothers
you
here
can't
the
tell
entire
your mother
party.
that you were drinking. She was supervising all of them.
She was chaperone.
And then when I said this story to my cousin who's a teacher in this Reliance school, she said that's a very common system nowadays where one parent signs up to chaperone multiple kids to a party.
Then whatever happens to your kids, it's up to you.
Yeah, but I don't think you're supposed to let them drink, and this one let them drink, and because she got a shard, it went all over the place. But
Yeah.
what is this episode?
It's a tryst with destiny. Anyway, I think we should wind this up. We've
Sure.
spoken
Yes.
a lot about a lot of things, and
All-
so we've
You know,
spoken.
sometimes when it plays, the episode plays. Now, right now, we know the context,
Yeah.
but it's like, why did Naveen say "shut the fuck up" suddenly?
That's my
That happened.
go-to word to say. Like,
Okay.
Cool. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Anish, Farhad. I'm trying to be all calm and collected right now.
Yeah, it's Anish's vibe.
Yeah.
Can I quickly say how I met Anish?
Yeah. Go
I
for
was single
At
for the long.
Salvation.
Yeah, I was single for the long. Also, Anish is seeing someone who I value and cherish, even though we don't talk that much. But he's really one of those people I value and cherish a lot. But long story short, I was single for the longest time, and I finally fell for one boy in Pune after ages. Okay, and it was very weird. This boy was already dating someone, but he was giving me the vibes and the signals and all of it. I did not imagine it in retrospect. It was all there. And he decided to visit Bombay. So he would always be like, I can't get into a relationship. I can't. And it would always be, I wish we could, but I have a boyfriend. All of that shit. So I was like, okay, I'm too old for this shit. But I was really into him. And he finally is in Bombay and we go clubbing. And after a while, I see he's making out with my roommate in the middle of the dance floor.
Wow.
So it was such a weird thing for me to see because I was into this boy and he's like constantly being like, no. And suddenly my roommate is making out
It was a
with
girl.
No,
No,
a
it was a
boy.
guy.
Okay.
A boy. So they both are like getting on in the middle of which I'm not cool with PDA. I've said it. Not cool means like I'm like awkward around PDA, but suddenly this is the kind of PDA I have to see. So I was in a very weird mood that night, which I hated being. And then I met Anish that night. And that's how he was very like, for the first time that he met me, he was very calming, soothing, relax, yeah, chill.
Yeah.
So, and then we met today.
And then we met today.
That's amazing.
And so
Jab
this
we
has
met.
been Jab we met, coming back. Life is coming back full circle.
What do I have to do? Get tomatoes and run in a train?
No, you have to kill Malika Sherawat.
No, you have to get the tomato wali to drop her tomatoes.
Okay.
And then she has to blame me.
Okay.
And then I have to run. And you have to get a Pandu Hawala to also
send Neville the memo. Like, hey, do all of this. I've just done that bit.
Cool.
Okay. With a step-by-step instruction.
We'll all go to a railway station now and do all of our individual tasks. You drop the tomatoes.
After what you've been doing at railway stations, I don't know whether we should.
I was listening to an older episode and you spoke about this guy who comes with a bucket of ghee to the railway station.
That was a Caesar story. The ghee queen.
The ghee queen.
Wow.
There was a person who used to roam around with a bucket of ghee for lube.
Not roam around. I think he went to a specific destination, just like with that.
That's better. That's better.
So local trains are never ending, and Andheri station, meet me outside over there. Why don't you sometimes? McDonald's. I'm loving it. So this is it from Keeping It Queer. Sometimes we talk serious stuff, sometimes we have bunker stuff.
Like this episode.
Yeah, and if you have some bunkers you want to share with us, come on the episode. Arrive on the episode.
Please.
Don't come. And talk to us about what you want to talk about. We always keep it queer here. And it's real also. We keep it real and we keep it queer.
Yeah.
Anish is on Instagram. Anish Gawande. You can find him on Instagram. Farhad is also on Instagram. Find him also. And I'm also on Instagram. Wow. We have something in common. You're on Instagram. House of Narona. Follow me.
But your scholarship is not.
No, my Dara Shikho fellowship is not. Pink List is on Instagram.
Pink
so
List
go follow Pink List.
Follow.
Also, IVM has several other shows where they don't do bunkers, they talk serious stuff. So listen to those episodes also on the other podcasting apps that you listen to. And we'll be back next week with a whole new level of bunkers.
Bye.
Keeping it bunkers. Bye.
Bye.
माणसं ना गोलगप्प्यासारखी असतात. हाय हॅलो करताना वेगळी आणि बोलताना वेगळी आणि गप्पा मारताना वेगळी, मित्र झाली की वेगळी आणि शत्रू म्हणून वेगळी, थोडक्यात दिसणारी वेगळी आणि असणारी वेगळी, कधी आंबट, कधी गोड, कधी तिखट, तर कधी चमचमीत आणि कधी कधी हॉट अँड स्पायसी सुद्धा. आणि म्हणूनच गप्पा सॉरी गोल गप्पा विथ तृप्ती खामकर फक्त तुमच्यासाठी दर बुधवारी IVM पॉडकास्टच्या ऍपवर, वेबसाईटवर किंवा युट्यूब चॅनलवर सुद्धा ऐकू शकता. तुम्ही आमचा पॉडकास्ट वेगवेगळ्या पॉडकास्ट प्लॅटफॉर्मवरती ऐकू शकता. फक्त सर्च करा गोल गप्पा विथ तृप्ती खामकर आणि आमचा पॉडकास्ट ऐकत रहा.
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ सौरभ चंद्रा
और मैं प्रणय कोटस्थाने.
जब महफिल खत्म होते होते दरवाजे के बाहर पुलिया के ऊपर हम दुनिया भर की जटिल समस्याओं को सॉल्व करने में लग जाते हैं तो हो जाती है पुलियाबाजी.
अब आजकल के अपार्टमेंट वालों ने तो कभी पुलिया देखी नहीं होगी, पर आप फीलिंग तो समझ ही सकते हैं.
तो आइए शामिल हो जाइए हमारी पुलियाबाजी में, जहाँ प्रणय और मैं एक से एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक्स की तह तक जाएंगे.
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बिटकॉइन, पाकिस्तान, मेडिकल एजुकेशन, करेंसी क्राइसिस, कभी हम दोनों के साथ और अक्सर स्पेशल एक्सपर्ट गेस्ट की कंपनी में.
सुनिए हमें IVM की वेबसाइट, ऐप या अपने फेवरेट पॉडकास्टिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पर हर दूसरे हफ्ते.